Alrighty, feeling a little indigestion and my schnoz feels like awful. So what a good time to record! Anyways, right-clicking on screen. Take some coffee, just trying to make some people laugh. It's a daunting task, especially when you weren't gifted with comedy or some sort of charm. A great deal of effort, honestly, for a little gain. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Is it too big? When I stand up straight, I'm out of frame, and when I crunch over, I'm not at all. So, let's go ahead and jump it up. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Try Not to Grin, a series in which we just look at memes and have the best time ever, and it's mostly for myself and you. And you know who you are. Person who puts up with me for far too long and spams the meme tabs. Also, we'll see how this plays. See, now I bumped it up and now I'm fucking too high. Well, it's fine. If I stand up straight, we should be fine. Look at that. That makes sense. But then my body just says no. And I start doing that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Trying to Grin. This is a series that is basically us just hanging out on our memes tab in our Discord, in which all of you lovely people spam away your weird shiz that happens to be here. I can't read any of that because it's so tiny, but I'm sure it's fucking great. He screams when you touch his foot, when you touch his belly. Also, that's a chungus looking cat. Oh my god, you're slowly killing an animal you love. Ugh. I understand you're, however, what? You're making... What is this? Who's pointing what at you? 25% off. Food, I can barely see it. I'm sure it's hilarious, but I know it's like a weird, what is it, Titanfall meme nonsense, but yeah. Any experience? No, sir. I hope you will gain some here. You're hired. Is this a fucking fake world? This will never happen to you, okay? They're like, how much experience do you have? But also, I feel like that, I call it some bullshit. I feel, okay, sorry, I was about to go, because one thing I hear all the time, which I agree with, which is like, how can I gain experience if no one will hire me? So like, I need someone to take a chance so that I can do this, and that. But at the same time, I think so much, and this could just be me, but I think there's so much, I think most people who are like in a good position talk about how much like your back and forth with your interviewer is. Like, if you make it very clear that you're willing to put in the work to gain experience, to take courses online, to come in for non-paid hours to get experience, to get the job done which you're trying to do, working with the company and constantly reassuring them that you're trying to provide value for the company itself, not trying to just get your check and get the fuck out. That, I think, could be huge in terms of, now of course you don't want to get fucking, like, you know, screwed over by a company and being like, yeah, you'll work for free, okay, then we'll take you on as an intern, and then don't fucking do that, it's stupid. But yeah, to me, I think that's like one of the bigger things as well within taking jobs or just getting work. I could be dead ass wrong, but just the interview process and being very clear about what your values and what you want from the situation, all that. My personality is like a coconut. I have a hard to break, tough exterior, but once inside, it's honestly not worth it. But when you get to who I am, it's just kind of a guy. It's not much of anything else besides what you probably have seen around. Dude, man, I don't know. Being unique and shit is fucking exhausting. Like, here's my specific niche. And I say this as the person who likes weirdness. Like, I'm the guy who makes fucking, I was all into making masks, and if I had an abundance of time, I would still make masks. But yeah, but also, it's not good. Again, you know what I am? Like, when you crack open a coconut, but it's rotten inside, you're like, who is this even for? Who is into this? I don't know either. I'm just like, what? Yeah, I can't wait to tell my future wife about me making a fucking mask and how it looks dope as shit, and just her tuning me out. I can't wait. Reading Japanese is really easy. You just need to turn your head sideways. Go fuck yourself. Fair enough. You got me. I don't get these talking ones. I can't hear it, so I'm missing out on all of it. But at the same time, the crazy kooky faces ones always been like weird meme stuff for me, where I'm just like, I've been there for too long. When I was in high school, looking at nonsense faces Reminds me of the disgusting age of annoying orange, which I always just never got. But there were some that were kind of funny, but mostly like in an R word kind of way, and not like a yeah, not okay. Snyder Justice League, Barry Allen breaks a window by simply touching it. This is because the window no longer support Flash. I'm not gonna go back and reread it because it already took too much of me, frankly. Know the difference? Genesis. Gnosis. Oh! Oh no, it's a gnosis. Right. See, dyslexia. I just kind of breezed by it and I was like, that looks like gnosis, which makes no sense. But no, got it. Oh. You guys have no idea how fucking like every day you are just faced with your crippling brain just chooses to not adapt. I've been trying for years to become normal and it's not gotten anywhere. It might be because you just fall back into old habits and you're like, just trust, and you're like, don't trust what you reread it 4 times, but then we're not efficient, so then we're lagging behind, and then we gotta just say fuck it, we'll bulldoze through. Your alarm is set to 2 hours and 17 minutes from now. What? Oh, is it because you slept you stayed up late all night? That's, guys, I say that, but I had the same thing last night where again it happens, man. I get my sleep schedule on lockdown and then I start forgetting what works conveniently because I'm like, oh, I want to watch this video in bed, and then I'm like, hey idiot, you're conditioning your brain to think when you're in bed. It can think and enjoy and thrive. It's not that it should fucking just shut off and sleep. So yeah, my fellow brothers and sisters out there, you are not alone in this horrific endeavor of sleep-deprived insomnia. Me replying no worries to something that is very much worries. Yes, I know. You're like, you know what? It's what it is. I did hear somewhere recently someone say, apparently when making deals and whatnot, the person who cares the least wins, which is why people always say to never be in a place of like scarcity. Same thing if you think about that in every situation in life. If you're like super lonely, super desperate for it, and desperately need attention, and then you go to like on Tinder or something, and the person's like, I want an open relationship, you're not into that, and fucking a bunch of other shit like fucking BDSM, and I'm not getting hurt, and it's just like a bunch of red flags and shit for if you're, because you're not, I'm supposing you're not into any of these things, and then you're like, fuck it, sure, I'm so lonely, and you accept just a thrash, just a whole bunch of nonsense. Whereas if you decided to sate whatever those were, those like, loneliness, go and hang out with friends you haven't hanged out in a while, or maybe just play an online game and meet some people and hang out for a couple of minutes and all that stuff. And then now that you know that you have like the background of, yeah, I don't need this, I don't care if I get this, it's be nice, but it doesn't matter, so then I'll ask for more, because if I don't get it, then it's fine, because I already am safe, I already have my safety net. Which is also why people talk about money, like apparently you need like a foundation of money usually, whether that be like investments or something, to where you're going to be somewhat okay for like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 10 years, whatever. And then people notice after a person has that foundation, they just skyrocket their wealth, because it's the same feeling of like, well, if you're already safe, then you can act in a chaotic way because you always have this foundation to come back to. I hope this email finds you well. How the email found me. Hissing noises, alcoholic, and just in a whole way, and in a box, frankly. A lot of issues. Although, those are cute. Those little tiny, like, little airplane alcohol, thing, where people ask for 60 of them, and they're like, I don't have a problem because they're tiny. And I'm like, right. Okay, please don't throw anything at me when we're on the plane. When you're about to make a bad situation worse by injecting some ill-tempered humor. Or ill-timed humor. Really, I always find this is quite good. I always find like when someone just, again, it's like, to me, I think when people get aggressive or angry, you kind of like block out everything around you and you're just engaging with this one person. It gets more heated and you're trying to think about what to say to them next, and it's like it gets very segregated to just them. So if a person interjects with like some stupid anything, it could be a clearing of the throat, it could be a stupid joke or whatever, it tells people like, hey, people are looking at you, people are watching you, you're not like alone here. So yeah, which is two things can happen. People can snap, or people can think, oh, you got my back, I can go deep. And you're like, no, bitch, I don't want to get hurt. What are you talking about? No, fucking kill your half, not me. My emotions, me, they're just falling out of you, but you're trying to keep it together. I am. That's a lot of people with a lot of different kinds. Let me see. Who is it? Secondly in Zerth, yeah. Paimon, this and that. I mean, our main character's not really side-eyeing, although he may be using intense peripheral vision, maybe. When you finish a conversation and realize it was 78%, you just oversharing. All I'm thinking, man, in my head, I'm just like, dude, I'm lucky if I'm in conversations, I can get like a word in. And it's good and bad. It's good because sometimes you like to let people like talk, you know, people like value you because you're like constantly asking about stuff, being interested in what they're talking about. But man, sometimes you just want to talk about what's going on with you and what you feel. That's why this exists. This is why this series exists, by the way, and that's why Let's Talks exists, because I never had that in my actual life very much. So the idea that I could come to a place and just be like, hey, so I don't get to talk a lot because people talk over me and shit, and then I don't finish what I say, and then it only perpetuates me not saying anything because I don't speak my mind, and just actually you don't think it's damaging you, but it's really damaging you because then you get outside of these situations in which people don't let you speak, and in a new situation with brand new people, you bring that baggage into those situations, and you end up, if someone even slightly rears up to talk, you just shut down and completely go into listening mode, which is not fair to you and very destructive in terms of being social, because you also need to give when people are ready to of course take. So yeah. YouTube, me who already clicked no for the 900th time. Would you like to try YouTube Premium? Hey man, I got that shit, no regrets. Also, I can use ad block on YouTube guilt free. I want to see your Toyota nonsense, okay? Some stupid shit. I get no ads, and I get to support the people who I enjoy quite a bit. And I only really watch like 2 or 3 people now. I go through phases. I go through phases where I watch like everybody, and then I watch fucking nobody. Like 3 people. So my 3 has always been the same for years. Wild, but regardless, yeah, if you don't want to pay for YouTube Premium, that's totally fine too. I'm not trying to like peacock or anything in a weird way. I'm just saying, for me, I got YouTube Music, which I use, and I got YouTube Red, or whatever it's called. So yeah, I don't watch any of the stupid TV shows they have. That's just stupid. But anyway, nobody gives a shit about anything you're saying. I'm assuming it's very nice. Your brain is fucking smooth. Your brain smooth, right? You're correct. Opinion is not, just not shut up. I never speak again. I have the worst opinion. Or you have the worst person I have never heard. Or I've ever heard. Dude, you are fucking dumb. But because that would sound like nobody shutting up for once, okay? It's clearly what everyone wants. No, please just shut the actual fuck up. Huh? So guys, if you happen to be in this camp, maybe just tell people that you don't want to be around people. But for me, even though what I just said above here, which is how like I rarely get a word in, with certain people, again, it's just certain people who I interact with a lot where I find it's just hard to get a word in, you know. Where again, it's a little bit of a self-absorbed narcissist around me, a little bit, which probably is my fault because I amp it up so much. I'm like, oh my god, you are getting a bike. Oh, it's so cool. Anyway, but what I was saying with this was, is this, as much as this is a cute, adorable song which I couldn't hear, which I'm sure is wonderful, and I probably should play it again for me in editing just so I can have it. I really enjoy. I think there's a fine line. I think that's what this is probably getting at, which is like on Twitter and shit, where people are like, "You're getting canceled," or "I hate you," or "I'm gonna only see the worst parts of humanity," and just shit on everybody, and I'm perfect. I think that's what this is getting at. But if you're a person who just wants to talk about like aliens and like fucking different dimensions and shit, I want to hear about it. I want to talk to you about it. You know what I mean? Anyways, also I love the cute, chibi, like kind of fucking tomboy anime character type. All that. Send this to a friend with no context. Is it Anaconda? Is it just Anaconda? It's just like, hey, I felt like you needed some ass. Or is it something that I can't hear? Or did she rip ass as soon as she twerked? I don't know what I can't hear anything, so I didn't know what it was. I can only assume. Regardless, what is this? Is this some wholesomeness that I desperately needed? Boys only want one thing, and it's disgusting. What boys want? A childhood friend! Yes! Also, that man is handsome AF. Look at him go. He fucking got tall as shit. Hey, it's not how it usually works. It's usually like you grow up stumpy or short as shit, and they're tall as... It's usually a pendulum. Regardless, yes, love it. Absolutely wonderful. Me, I feel like, what do you call it? Fluff is my alter ego, who's significantly older than me, but still, we want the same thing and we enjoy the same things. Well, not all the same things, but most of the same things. Because yes, I love the child. There's an anime out right now, which is, it's literally is called this, because of course it is, a romance anime where the childhood friend doesn't lose. Is what it's called. And I don't know if it's because there's a childhood friend that's going to win, or if all of the heroines in this weird harem show is a childhood friend. I think it's that one. Regardless, still cool. And again, the character, always the childhood friend is like, there's a specific kind of like, in anime tropes is like the sexy, or here's this long-legged, big-thighed, all this shit woman who's tall as shit, all that stuff, fucking intimidating to something, drive, all that. And then there's like the tsundere nonsense, all this stuff. But then, the childhood friend is like always very funny, and like tomboy-y almost. Like she's like one of like a good buddy friend, but also weirdly sexually attractive as well, and in a weird like wholesome-y, but also kind of way. And again, that'd be what I would choose. With the goth, fucking issues rearing its head every now and again. But who's to say you couldn't have the best of both worlds? Lie, Swatter. You called yourself ugly. Oh, fucking Fluff coming at you with wholesome, unwholesome. Love it. Love all of it. Fluff. Being the person that we don't deserve, but we need.
Alright, so I have an idea and I want you to stick with me. You know how pineapples evolved to where they have a spiky exterior to hide a juicy, really tasty inside? Here's my theory.
Why do you want to kill a cute little hedgehog? What? Also, pineapples are tasty, but they burn your throat because it's acidic. I almost said assy, but then I quickly was like, oh shit, we are over time, boys. One last one. Alone. Pros, you're alone. Cons, you're also alone. Yeah. Yeah. It's a little bit of I can be at peace with myself, and if I'm great company and I enjoy being around me and I get to indulge in the things I like, but then when I go to sleep at night I feel depressed and sad because I would like to have kids one day and also just care about someone and have somebody care about me and to build somebody up and to help them deal with their trials and tribulations and to also face the world not alone but hopefully with someone again by your side. So, those hot thoughts, a little haunting, but cool, hobbies and all that. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for it. I'm not sure. Sorry. I always think in my head, I'm like, is that joke too fucky to put in the video, and can I edit it out? Which is why I keep laughing, because whenever I like say something and then immediately like flow into an outro, it's always like the most awkward thing to edit in because it just looks like I'm like, yeah, and welcome back. Like there's clearly some missed time. So I think it's funny. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna film. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna go put on a sweater, boil alive, but it's gonna have the perception of time passing, and that these are not filmed in the same day, and that I'm trying to manage my time better because I'm taking some fucking business courses and I need to fucking manage my time better.